You wake up tired. You go through the day in a fog, waiting for the moment you can finally rest. But when that moment comes, you still don't feel better. This isn't just physical exhaustion. It's something deeper, something that rest alone can't fix. Chronic fatigue is often misunderstood. We think we're just lazy or not sleeping enough. But in many cases, it's a psychological and emotional overload that's been building for months, sometimes even years. It's the weight of unspoken emotions, the pressure to always do more, be more, achieve more. It's the constant mental noise, the inner critic that never goes quiet. And over time, this invisible pressure drains us, not all at once, but slowly, quietly, until tired becomes your default setting. Understanding this is the first step, because when we know what's really behind the exhaustion, we stop blaming ourselves and start healing. Stay with us, because next, we'll explore a deeper layer of exhaustion when the body rests, but the mind doesn't. You lie down. Your body is still. Maybe you're on the couch, or in bed, or taking a walk outside. But your mind? It's racing. Thoughts rushing. Tasks you haven't finished. Conversations you replay. Decisions you're unsure about. And fears that have no name. This is mental fatigue, a kind of tiredness that no amount of sleep can solve. Because while the body is resting, the mind is doing overtime. You're planning tomorrow, rewriting the past, imagining worst-case scenarios that will probably never happen. Even when you're not thinking about anything in particular, your brain can feel like it's buzzing, a low hum of stress that never really shuts off. This is especially true for people who are anxious, perfectionistic, or sensitive to the emotions of others. And the more we ignore this invisible mental load, the heavier it becomes. Over time, it shows up as burnout. Not because you did too much, but because you thought too much. Because every what if, every self-doubt, every inner monologue, it costs you energy. And the worst part is, it's hard to explain to others. You might look fine, functioning, even productive, but inside, you feel drained before the day even begins. That's the paradox. You're doing less, yet feeling more exhausted. So what can you do? First, become aware of it. Just notice how often your mind is on. You don't have to fight the thoughts, but you can learn to step back from them. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, or even short breaks with no screens, no scrolling, just silence, can give your mind a moment to breathe. And with time, the space between thoughts gets a little wider. You begin to feel lighter, less rushed, more present. The mind will still speak. That's its job. But you don't have to listen to it all the time. You can rest not just in body, but in mind. And that's where true recovery begins. In just a second from now, you'll discover something surprising, the hidden trap of being a good person, and how to avoid falling into it. You always try to do the right thing. You help, you support, you say yes, even when you're tired, even when it costs you. People like you. They say you're dependable, kind, thoughtful. But behind the compliments is someone who can't seem to rest. This is the good person trap. It sounds noble, even beautiful, but it's exhausting. Because when you constantly live to meet others' expectations, you start to lose touch with your own. You feel guilty for saying no, lazy for taking a break, selfish for putting your needs first. And when you finally lie down to rest, the inner critic shows up. You haven't done enough. Other people are working harder. Don't be weak. These thoughts aren't random. They were planted long ago, maybe in childhood, maybe by culture, maybe by past relationships. We're taught that our worth is tied to our usefulness, that being a good person means being available, productive, reliable at all costs. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone your constant availability. You are not here to carry the emotional weight of others. You are allowed to rest, even if the house isn't clean, even if someone is disappointed, even if nothing productive got done today. Because rest is not earned. It's a human need. You cannot pour from an empty cup, no matter how kind or strong you are. So how do you escape this trap? You start by noticing it. Every time you feel guilt for resting, pause. Ask yourself, is this guilt mine? Or was it planted in me? Begin practicing small no's. Take intentional pauses without apologizing for them. Remind yourself, being a good person doesn't mean being exhausted. True goodness isn't self-sacrifice. It's balance, and you deserve that balance, without guilt. And now, let's talk about a real hidden thread, the silent tension that follows you everywhere, anxiety. It's not panic, you're not shaking, you're not crying, but something feels off. You can't fully relax. There's a tightness in your chest, a shallow breath, a restless feeling in your stomach. It's background anxiety, low level, constant, quiet. You may not even call it anxiety. Maybe you say, I'm just tired, or I'm on edge. But deep down, your nervous system is always a little activated, always waiting, always alert. This kind of anxiety doesn't shout. It whispers, and it shows up everywhere. You check your phone again, even though no one texted. You replay a conversation from 2 days ago. You imagine something going wrong, and your body reacts as if it already has. The worst part? You might not even know it's happening. It becomes your normal, your baseline, and over time, this quiet tension chips away at your energy, your focus, and your joy. So how do you deal with something you barely notice? First, by noticing it. Pay attention to the subtle signs. Muscle tension, shallow breathing, jaw clenching, constant multitasking, irritability without clear reason. These are all whispers of anxiety. Next, give yourself permission to pause. Not scroll, not distract, just pause. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Do this 3 times. This signals safety to your nervous system. It says, you're okay right now. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need to be ready for the worst. Let your body come back to the present. With daily practice, even just 5 minutes, this awareness can shift everything. Over time, the background noise quiets. Your breath deepens. Your thoughts slow down. And your sense of calm returns, not because the world changed, but because you did. In just a second from now, you'll hear about a trap we all fall into, the hidden danger of endless scrolling and Netflix marathons. You come home, you're exhausted, you lie down, you grab your phone, or you put on a show, maybe both. It feels like rest, but somehow you don't feel better. That's because not all rest is truly restful. Our nervous systems are overwhelmed, overstimulated, overworked, and the way we try to recover often just adds more noise. Scrolling through social media bombards us with images, comparisons, information, dopamine spikes, and emotional triggers, even if we don't realize it. Binge watching gives us a break from our thoughts, yes, but it doesn't bring us back to ourselves. And when the episode ends, the fatigue is still there. The mind is still buzzing. So we scroll again. We press play again. And this cycle tricks us into thinking we're resting, when we're really just numbing. True rest doesn't mean tuning out. It means tuning in. It's found in silence, nature, slow breathing, unhurried conversation, journaling, gentle movement, or even doing nothing without guilt. Rest means letting your mind exhale, not distracting it, but softening it. So next time you're tempted to lose yourself in the feed or autoplay another episode, ask yourself, what would actually restore me right now? Maybe it's stepping outside for 5 minutes. Maybe it's lying in the dark with no sound. Maybe it's drinking tea and doing absolutely nothing. Give yourself that kind of rest, the kind your body and soul are quietly begging for. You deserve more than escape. You deserve real recovery. Right now, just for you, I'm sharing the most effective ways to finally break free from exhaustion. Real, simple, and proven tools to help you feel like yourself again. You've made it this far, and that means something. It means you're not just tired, you're ready to stop surviving and start truly living again. So let's talk about what actually works. Not theories, not trends, but real, grounded ways to restore your mind and body. Sleep. Not just more, but better. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Yes, even on weekends. Keep screens out of the bedroom. Make the space dark, quiet, and cool. One small habit at a time. Your brain will thank you. Real rest every day. Not scrolling, not noise. Just 10 to 15 minutes of mindful pause. No agenda, no guilt. Sit in silence. Stretch, breathe. Let your nervous system reset. It's built to do that. Boundaries. You don't have to reply instantly. You don't have to say yes when your whole body says no. Protect your time like it matters, because it does. You can't pour from an empty cup. Movement. Not for performance, but for peace. A short walk, gentle yoga, even swaying to your favorite music. Your body doesn't need a workout. It needs a moment of care. Talk to someone. Therapy isn't weakness. It's a tool, just like going to the doctor when you're sick. Sometimes what we carry can't be fixed alone, and that's okay. You're allowed to ask for help. And finally, reconnect with things that make you feel alive. Creativity, play, time in nature, music, deep conversations. Not because they're productive, but because they remind you who you are. Real recovery isn't dramatic. It's gentle, it's slow, but it works. And every small step you take is a step back to yourself. If this video helped you pause, reflect, or breathe just a little deeper, give it a like and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video, and trust me, it's one you won't want to miss.